Hey guys, I am coming to you today with ukulele tutorial number 5, where we're going to learn our D minor chord. But before we get started, I want to congratulate you for getting this far, because if you've gotten to number 5, that means that you have worked your way through C, A minor, F, G7, and G chords. G chord being the hardest and the biggest hurdle you kind of have to surpass in your beginner days of playing the ukulele. Now, before we get started on this specific tutorial for D minor, I want to recommend a couple of things to you. When I'm teaching in a classroom, I stop at the G chord and we basically spend quite a bit of time. We really camp out at that place for quite some time before we move on to any other chords. The reason for that is that as you get to playing the G chord, what you're going to find is that transition to G is a challenge. It's tough, and you're going to have to be able to make that transition pretty quickly in order to play it in time with a real song. So what I want to encourage you to do at this point, if you're not 100% secure on your G chord, is to continue practicing it by doing a couple of things. First, you want to go into my song tutorials playlist. There's many song tutorials that only use C, A minor, F, and G. I'm going to link that playlist in the comment section below. The other thing you want to do is learn how to read a chord chart. Learning how to read chord charts is essential for any instrumentalist to be able to play through a song. And I actually did a tutorial on reading chord charts. So you should probably watch that one and go and find some fun chord charts and tutorials that will get you through some songs only using C, A minor, F, and G. When you are 100% secure on your G and you can make that transition really easily and you've played through some songs using just those chords, then you're ready to move on to this tutorial where we're going to learn D minor, and then we're going to keep going beyond that. So we're going to get started pretty soon on D minor. Make sure you check out those chords below. And I want to thank my subscribers and my followers, my listeners, my watchers. You guys have made this channel more and more popular, more than I thought it would ever be. If you are not a subscriber, please click that subscribe button below and the bell for notifications so that you can continue to get updates on my channel, tutorials, songs, and play-alongs. All right, time to get started with D minor. Okay, it is time to get started with the D minor chord. Now, something you're going to notice as we move forward with some of these other chords is that some of them are actually significantly easier to play than the G chord that you did in the previous tutorial. And you're going to probably wonder why that is. Like, why couldn't we just do the easier ones first and do G later? Well, without getting too heavily into music theory with you, what I will tell you is that the key that you're playing these beginner songs in is called the key of C. And in the key of C, you use the 1, 4, 5, and 6 minor chord most of the time in songs, in chord progressions, beginner chord progressions. So the 1 chord in C major is C. The 4 chord is F. The 5 chord is G, and the 6 minor is A minor. So you have to know those 4 chords, because if you go to play a song in the key of C, you're probably not going to see a D minor chord unless you also see a G chord. You're not going to see a song that doesn't have G if you're in the key of C. So that's why G is so important. You have to get over the hump. This is going to probably feel super easy to you, which is a good thing. You'll catch on to this quick. So I'm going to go ahead and put the D minor chord graphic up on the screen. And you're going to notice, if you've been with me long enough, that D minor actually shares a pretty big similarity to the F chord. In fact, 2 of the 3 fingers that you use for D minor are the same as the F chord. So if you get a second, click on the link below that will link you to the exercise document for this tutorial. It's going to open up a document that's going to show you several different exercises, and we're going to work through those like we have in previous tutorials. But if you take a look at that D minor graphic, what you're going to see is the F chord uses second finger on the G string, first finger on, if you're in my class and we use the colors, green dot, that's your F chord, okay? And now for D, all I'm doing is I'm taking my ring finger, my 3rd finger, and I am sticking it right behind, right behind the middle finger, but they're both in the 2nd fret. Both in the 2nd fret. So you have to really kind of smush them together. You have to get that 3rd finger to fit right behind the middle finger. And an F chord sounds like this. But if I put my 3rd finger down, D minor sounds like this. So it's a minor chord. It has that kind of sad sound to it. That is your D minor chord. Okay, so it's almost like F, but you've got to get that third finger stuck right behind the second finger on the C string. Now remember, I would just always remind you that if you're looking at me, your headstock should be going the opposite direction. Okay, we are mirroring each other, so yours should be going this way. It should look opposite of mine. Okay, so your left hand should be on the neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to take what we know now with this D chord, make sure that you can play it where all of the strings ring out. Good. And then what we're going to do is work through some exercises. Now, I know exercises aren't always fun, people. I get it. But it is essential to do these exercises. Essential to do these so that you can play a song. And the song tutorial that you're going to be using for this to practice your D minor chord that I have right now listed in my play along videos is the song Someone You Loved by Lewis Capaldi, which is right now very popular. Who knows if it'll be popular down the road as people are watching this, but take a look at your document. So you're going to see that I have all of the chords that we've learned that we're going to use in this document. There's no G7 in this. We're just going to use the regular G chord. We're going to go through exercise 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are going to take us back and forth between our C, A minor, F, and G, switching to D minor. But if you look all the way down at the bottom at exercise number 5, there is the pattern that you will use in Someone You Loved. If you want to play that song and practice your D minor chord, we'll look at that at the end. So we're not going to go through all of these exercises with you. We'll kind of skip around so this isn't so long, but let's go ahead and start with exercise number 1. We're going to go C to D minor. All right, so C at this point should be an old friend that you just know how to get to their house, no problem. Third finger here on the 3rd fret of the A string, we're going to play a C chord. Okay, so we're going to do 4 strums on C chord, and then we're going to do 4 strums on D minor. We're going to go back to C, and then we're going to go back to D minor, 4 strums on each. And I'll do a little pause in between so you have time to set your fingers, okay? So we're starting on C. Let's do 4 strums. 1, 2, ready, strum, and C, 2, 3, 4. Now switch your fingers. Get ready for D minor. Here we go. D minor, 2, 3, 4. Now this is easy. Back to C. We're good there. C 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go to D minor. Get your fingers ready. And D minor. 2, 3, 4. Good. All right. Now let's go ahead and skip down to exercise number 4. Let's go for the big one. G to D minor. This is very important. This is the hardest one and the newest one. Okay. So we're going to get our G chord up here. And we're going to get our fingers in G chord. Remember, by now you should be able to do this pretty easily if you've been following my instructions and practicing it. So we're going to start on a G chord 4 times, then we're going to go to D minor 4 times, then we're going to go back to G, and then back to D minor. Here we go. G first, finger set, 1, 2, 3, G chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to switch. Get your fingers ready for D minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to G. Get your fingers set. Ready? G chord. Ready? G, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to switch to D minor. Here we go. D minor, 2, 3, 4. So you want to be able to do that pretty easily without having to stop. That's going to take you a little bit of time. I know. You're going to have to do it a bunch of times. Muscle memory. You need it. So there's that. Now let's go ahead and look at this pattern for Someone You Loved. And lots of songs that have D minor have different patterns. But in this one, you'll notice that the D minor, you only strum 2 times. The A minor, you strum 2 times. And then the G chord, you strum 4 times. So we'll do this slow first. Get your fingers in that D minor position. We're going to do 2 of those. Okay, ready? Strum 2 D minors. Now going to A minor, really easy. You leave your middle finger down, lift the other 2 up. That's it, okay? So if you're in D minor, lift your 3rd and 1st finger up, keep your 2nd finger down. There's your A minor, 2 times. And then you got to get to G 4 times. Ready? G chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the pattern, okay? In Someone You Loved, you have to do D minor, 2, A minor, 2, G, 2, then you do it again in the song. It happens twice. D minor, 2, A minor, 2, G, 2, 3, 4. That's your pattern. So practice that. And then go ahead and try the play along. And there should be a song chord chart also linked underneath my play along in that page. So that will help you get through it. So a lot of times it's easier to just do a song that has the chord in it than sit and do exercises, but the exercises are really important for muscle memory. So this one should not be so terrible. It's just a matter of remembering how to get that third finger right behind the second finger, especially if you're on a soprano like I am. It's like the frets are so close together. It's tough sometimes, but you got this. So just practice that. Practice with some songs that use D minor, and come back for the next tutorial that's going to be, I believe, E minor is next. So guys, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, share this page with anyone that you think needs help. I'm so grateful for you, and I am so glad that you keep coming back to learn from me. So have a great day, and I'll be seeing you very soon.